Hi guys, it's Patty with Patty's Paper Design. How are you all this beautiful day? At least it's beautiful here in Indianapolis. We've got lots of sun shining, and the only problem is it's hot and humid out there, so I'm not going to go outside. I'm just going to look out through my windows. I've got a lot of stuff here on my table, my desk. And actually, my desk is a table. I don't know if we're going to get through it all. We may not, probably, because I've had so many ideas flowing through my head, swirling around, and I think I'm forgetting half of them and then getting new ones. So we'll see what we can get done. I've got my watch on. I'm gonna try and do an hour-long video. Otherwise, I know we're not going to get much of anything done. So it's, according to my watch, it's 12:46, and so we'll go to approximately 1:46. So first thing I want to do is I want to show you something. I know a lot of you guys are into vintage, and I like vintage as well. Unfortunately, through the years, I have gotten rid of more vintage than I've kept, thinking that I was, decluttering and that kind of thing. And of course, I regret a lot of it, but I want to show you this here. It was my aunt's sewing kit, and it's very dirty. I need to clean it up. I've used it for all of my embroidery. So, and there's a lot of old stuff in there, a lot of old thread and odds and ends. But I was looking for an embroidery needle because I'm going to do some sewing. And I did find my embroidery needle. Let me get that out. Probably should have had my embroidery threaded before I started this video, but I didn't, so we'll work with that. I found in here, now this is really dingy and it needs a good wash, and it's got old cat hair on it, one of our former pets. But these are pillowcases. They're his and her pillowcases. Let me get them unwound, unfolded or whatever. And they're stained, and they've never been used, and they were brand new, and I don't know how they got stained, and I don't know how any of that happened, but that's what happened. So they're his and hers. This is hers. I did this crochet around the edge. Now, I don't know if any of you guys know, but my husband died 2 years ago this coming July 12th. And I never did get these finished. I got hers finished, but his didn't get done all the way. His is only this far along. So I got quite a ways to go. And I don't know if my fingers will embroider any longer. I mean, I can try, but I don't know if they will. So I was thinking after I found this, I thought, well, maybe I will go ahead and see if I can't finish these up and wash them and use them. Why not? So these are, this would be our 50th anniversary this year. So these are vintage, definitely vintage. So that's what happens to something that sits for 50 years, even inside of a sewing container. Look how dirty they are. They smell good though. So anyhow, I wanted to show you that. And I don't know how many of you are interested in that kind of thing, but I know a lot of junk journalers are. So anyhow, there's that. And what I've got a couple of different projects going here that I want to get completed. The one project I want to start and hopefully finish is I have these buttons, and these are envelopes. Got 3 of them. I've got red buttons, and I've got 3 types of lacy. That's fabric, but it's got lacy on it. And then I've got this flower type thing. And I've got this here kind of thing. So I want to sew the buttons on here. And then they're going to get put on these envelopes. And then hopefully I'll get those done and I'll be able to show you where they're going in my journal. So that's the plan for now. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to use all 6 strands of this embroidery floss because I want the fuller effect of the white thread on my red buttons. And hopefully I can get this threaded. My eyes aren't real good and my hands aren't real steady. And I'm not even sure I've got a needle threader up here, so. Oh, hey, looky there, I did get it threaded. Lucky me. Okay, I hope I got enough thread on here because I don't want to go through that again. I think I probably do. I'm only doing 3 of them. Okay, so. Let me put that back in the pin cushion. I want to trim off one of these little doogies. And I try to have my sewing scissors. I don't have my big ones, but I like to keep my small ones up here because I don't want to use my paper scissors on this stuff. I think these cut the fabric better and easier, and and I don't know if the fabric would ruin the scissors or not, but the paper scissors, but I don't want to take that chance. So, got that one on there. And let's get one of these things cut off. So how are you folks today? You know, I just got back from Albuquerque. Had a really good time. Went to Santa Fe on the rail runner. That was kind of fun. Ate a lot of really, really good New Mexico style food. And I'll tell you what, if you have a stepped up nose, the best thing to do is to eat green chili queso. I'll tell you what, after I ate that, my nose ran for probably 12 hours. And I probably went through half a box of Kleenexes. But boy, it was good. If you like hot. I mean, it wasn't, I don't know, maybe I'm not terribly sensitive to hot, but I didn't think it was bad at all. Now, some of the other people that I was sitting with said they couldn't eat it. It was too hot, but it was fine for me. Okay, so now this piece I am just going to use half. So I'm going to cut it in half this way. It won't tear, I don't believe. So I'm not even going to try. I think I'm going to trim that off. So all we have is that one little lumpy do, or whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it a lumpy do. Okay, so we're going to put that one on here. Maybe I'll cut the corners. That might be okay, right? I think it'll be okay. Cut the corners. There. Okay, so now we got a bunch of little buttons here. Some of these are almost see-through, kind of like a tiddlywinks. Like that one there. That kind of looks like a tiddlywinks. That one looks okay there. Let's see, we don't want a real small one for this one I cut real much. Let's see, what about that one? I mean, we don't want a real big one. That one will look okay. And then, what about a bigger one on here? Now, I got these aren't vintage buttons at all. I think, I don't know, some of this lace might be. I got it in a Happy Mail, so I'm not really sure. I think that looks fine for what I'm going to be doing with it. Okay, so let's go get to sewing. Won't take me but a minute, I don't think. If I can keep my hands on here. So, honestly, I'm surprised that we were able to get out of Indianapolis okay, because the fires from Canada, I couldn't believe how, I mean, the sky just looked so weird. I mean, you know how you have a hazy, humid day? Well, this was a hazy day, all right, but it wasn't from humid, it was from the fires. And the sun was just a ball of orange, but you could see the haze on top of it. It was just the weirdest thing. And then I know some cities out east in our area, like I think Minnesota, which that's a little further north than us, and where else? In Minnesota, I think maybe some cities like New York, maybe, and Newark, and other cities further east of us, they had flight delays. So, and that was the day before. And so when I got to Denver, which was my layover point, I heard all these horror stories of, I'm going to go through this again. I heard all these horror stories of flight delays. The day before in Denver, all the flights had been delayed. Now that's not centered, and I don't even care. It's fine. And because of the flight delays, the airport, or not the airports, the hotels were booked. And I was hearing this one guy talk about how he couldn't get a hotel any closer than 45 miles outside of Denver. And he had an Uber there, and then Uber back in the morning. Can you imagine the Uber bill on that? That would have been horrific. So anyhow, he had a horrible experience, as did others. And they couldn't even reschedule. I was hearing some of them say they couldn't even reschedule online. They had to reschedule at the service desk, and the guy was saying that he thought the service desk was probably backed up about a mile. He said because everybody was waiting to get their flights rescheduled for the next day or whenever they could get out of there. So I am just so grateful. What am I doing here? I am just so grateful that I did not have that kind of a problem. So, but I had a really good time while I was gone. Like I said, I ate a lot of good food. Now, I must say that Albuquerque was not at all prepared for us. This convention I went to had, there were 4,200 of us. And I stayed at the Doubletree Hilton in Albuquerque, and it was a nice hotel. But their restaurant was not hardly big at all. I mean, if it seated 100 people, that's probably an exaggeration. And like the city didn't, somehow or another communication fell off the rail, because there wasn't any communication apparently about us being there. And none of the restaurants nearby were expecting such a large crowd. Now, I have to say that the restaurant at the Doubletree, even though they were understaffed and they were, low seating, they still had, where'd my button go? Here it is. They still did a really good job. And the amazing part of it is there wasn't any explosive behavior from some of the customers were sad to say, a little irritated, not realizing what was really going on with the whole situation of poor communication and all that. I talked to some of the restaurant staff, and they said they had no idea that they were going to be slammed like they were. They said they knew they had a group coming in, but they didn't have any clue that it was 4,500 people. So, why is my thread not going through? Why can't I find the hole? And then on Fridays, across the street from the convention center, they normally had food trucks, which the only time they were there was actually on Friday while we were at our convention. And they didn't have any clue that we were going to be there. And they said if they had known, they would have been there the whole time we were there. And because they didn't know that we were going to be there, they ran out of food. Oh, even the restaurants were running out of food. So I don't know what the problem was with the communication. And I don't know what the problem is with me that I can't get this needle through. Can't find the hole. There we go. But just wasn't very good. Communication just was not very good. And the weather there was fine. I mean, their temperatures were probably about like they are here in Indianapolis on any given warm summer day. But because they have such low humidity, it didn't feel warm at all, at least not to me. I mean, it was warm, but it wasn't hot warm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was probably in the mid 80s, maybe 90 even at some point. But if it were mid 80s or 90 here in Indianapolis, I wouldn't have been able to be outside. It'd be so humid, I couldn't stand it. The heat just feels a lot warmer in the humid air. So, but I had a really good time. And then got back not yesterday. I got back, when did I get back? Got back Monday. That's what I did. I got back Monday. And I slept quite a long while. I think I slept about 12 hours. And then I napped most of the day Tuesday, because this lung disease that I have causes me to be really fatigued quite a bit. So I had hoped to get my filming done yesterday and have this one going up today, but that didn't happen. I was just too exhausted. So we're doing it today, and I'm fairly sure it's not going to go up until tomorrow. I don't think I can get it uploaded and all that today. Okay, that one will be fine, right? Okay, now let's do this one. Maybe this one would be a little easier. It's only got 2 buttonholes. I didn't even check to see if either one of these had a... I think that's the right side. I didn't even check to see if there was a right or a wrong side. Guess it doesn't matter now, huh? I did check this one. I don't think there is a right or a wrong, but let me check again. No, there is a right and a wrong. This is the right side here. Let me make sure this tiddlywink button doesn't have a right or a wrong side. No, I don't think it does. Okay, so I suppose most of you guys remember tiddlywinks. I don't even know if they have them anymore. They were fun to play. Tiddlywinks. Come on, button. Well, let's see, I might just end up What am I going to do here? I guess I'll have to go in on one of these petals. I don't have a whole lot of room to sew. Well, come on. Come on, little needle. Go through that petal. That embroidery there is pretty thick. It doesn't want to go. Well, now that's too far away from the center. Well, darn, darn, darn. Let me see here. Maybe what I will do is, let's see. Maybe I will just do it like this. I'm going to be gluing these down, so I don't necessarily think it's going to really matter a whole lot how much how well they're sewn to each other. Let's see here if I can get this to work the way I want it to. I think I can. I hope my head wasn't in the way. Probably was. So since I've been back, let's see, Tuesday, like I said, oh, I'm a day off. I was thinking this is Wednesday. It's not Wednesday. Wednesday, let's see, what did I do Wednesday? Wednesday I had to go to my pulmonary rehab. I walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes, 2 miles an hour. And then I also, yeah, that works out good. Then I also do a stationary bicycle for 30 minutes. So I did all that. And then I went to a nail appointment, got my nails done. So that took 3 hours out of my afternoon. By the time I was done doing that, I was kind of wiped out again. So I just watched a bunch of crafting videos, caught up on some of the ones I hadn't been able to catch while I was out. And but that's always fun. I love doing that. Well, I picked up my puppy dog from my son's house. Him and his wife kept Ellie. I picked her up Tuesday. I got home Monday night, probably about 10 o'clock, and my cats were so excited to see me, they wouldn't leave me alone. They followed me everywhere. They wanted me to snuggle with them and all that sort of thing, so I had to snuggle with my kitties. And then, of course, when the puppy dog came home, all that changed. They weren't happy about that because they stay in the bedroom when the dog's around. They haven't figured out if they don't run from her, she won't chase them. They haven't figured that part out yet. Or maybe my one cat, I think, probably teases her and causes her to chase. I'm not sure. So I'm looking at this one here. I kind of think it needs a little something else. Maybe I shouldn't have cut those edges off. I don't know. But I think it's just going to have to be happy with the way it is. Although I could, let's see, I've got some more black lace over here. I could put a little bit of let's see. Let me find a, like that. Here, what's this? Those are too big. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this one would be okay. That's a littler one. Maybe I could put a little bit of this under here. Would that work? No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Well, maybe I'll just cut a piece of this off. Let's see. How about I cut off a piece of that and then stick that on there. You know what? I think I like that better. So let's do that. Let us do that. I think I will like that better. So I put tape on my board here to try and mark myself to where I needed to be inside the lines. My hands need to be inside the lines here. I don't know, you can probably see that. And I got the same thing on the other side. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit better. Once I get it glued down. So anyhow, let's get these glued down and we'll be done with this part of my projects. Put all my black back in my container. Get my Fabri-Tac out. Get this gluing going on. And I'll show you where we're going to put these. We'll get them put down and then go on to our next little project that I want to get done. Okay. So let's put a little bit of this here. So let's see. My puppy dog, she's a 2-year-old golden doodle, okay? And at home she's just fine. I mean, she knows that I don't play, and she just usually doesn't worry about it really. She'll go out in the backyard and she'll do her little zoomies around the backyard, and she's satisfied. You know, she'll do that every day. I got a fairly big backyard. Every day she usually does the perimeter of the yard about 5 times at full speed. She looks like she's on a racetrack. It's so cute to watch her. But at my daughter-in-law's house, she's a breeder. And I don't know, let me tell you some more about my Ellie. Ellie, I'm a guardian. Ellie is actually my daughter-in-law's dog. And I mean, I'm not sure that I am completely and fully okay with this whole idea, but there's not much I can do about it since she's not my dog. She'll be bred several times, based on what Christine wants to do with her. You know, how many times she wants to breed her. Up to 5 times. Now, I'm not really all that great with any of that, but like I said, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. And she's a $2,000 dog that I did not have to pay for. And then once Christine's done breeding her, she will, she'll have her spayed, and then she'll be mine. And I keep, you know, I maintain her upkeep. I take care of her shots and all that sort of thing. But I didn't have to pay for her. And she's a really sweet dog. Now, there's no way I would have paid $2,000 for her. I can't imagine anybody paying $2,000 for a dog. But she's a really, really good dog. She's extremely smart. She knows our complete routine. Like right now, she's overlaying by our fireplace on the ceramic tile over there where it's cool. I have laminate floor, so it's probably cool on the floor too, but she really likes laying on that ceramic tile. And you're not going to hear a peep out of her unless she gets thirsty, hungry, or wants to go out. And I don't think she's going to have any of those problems going on because I've got her food and water bowl full, and she just came in a little bit ago from being outside. So I think we're safe there. And we got a half an hour to go. It's 1:16. I don't think we're going to get done everything I wanted to get done, which is okay, I guess. We'll just do it the next time, right? Next video around. Alrighty. But over at Christine's, she wore out their, I think this dog is part golden retriever and part poodle. You know, I think she really is a golden doodle. But she's got a lot more retriever in her than golden doodle. And so she's a year old, so she's a year younger than Ellie. And Ellie absolutely wore her out. She was exhausted and laying on the ground, panting. And Ellie was kind of jumping at her and kind of growling a little bit, trying to say, come on, let's play some more. My daughter-in-law says, she is so high energy, how do you handle her? And really, she's not high energy here. She knows that I'm not going to be playing with her. Apparently she knows I'm an old lady, and I'm not going to be playing with her, so me and her are fine. We get along quite well. Now, when I go outside, that's a different story. She wants to play then. And I don't go outside very often for that reason. I mean, not out in the back. I go out in the front. If I go out, I go out in the front and I leave her in the house. And then if I have to be in the backyard doing anything, like picking up twigs or something, I'll go in through the back gate. Okay. Let's see, that one's not centered. Let's get it scooted over a little more. There we go. Oh, darn. There, that's better. Let's put a little more glue under here. I think my thing's clogging up a little bit. Oh no, I guess it wasn't really. Okay, there we go. More glue under here. I really hope my head's not showing. I don't want to get my head in the way. That wouldn't be good. Get my head in the way to where you can't see what I'm trying to show you. But if it is, it is. If it's not too bad, I'm going to keep this video because, like I said, well, I didn't say it earlier. I mean, I've said it before that there's too much prep that goes on to get these videos ready to, you know, not be able to use them. So before I ever even upload my video, and I don't edit it because I don't know how to do any editing yet. I got to figure that one out. But before I ever even upload my video, I watch the entire thing. Which, of course, I would do that if I were editing. But I do it, and I'm not editing, because, like I said, I don't know how. That's one of my things I want to get done here, eventually. But at the same time, I want to keep my video content, you know, going. So, hopefully I can get that. Hopefully I can get that done one day soon. Okay, so we're going to put these aside. And let me grab my journal. It's in my container for my trash, paper trash. Okay, so now I want to try, and I don't want to put anything on the bottom of the page. I want these to be up on the top corner. Let's see here. Okay, so I was thinking about putting something else on the top corners too, and I don't remember what that was. And I don't mind it hanging off the page. That's fine. I don't care. I'm going to have ribbon and stuff coming up off the top too, so that'll be all right. Now I'm using Barely Arts primarily because my preferred glue, well, I don't really have a preferred glue, but my what is it called? What is it called? Art glitter glue, that's what it's called. I've got it in a Sugar Bell bottle because my art glitter glue bottle was clogged, and it took me forever to get it unclogged. I thought I thought the tip was flowing okay because I was able to get a, oh, that looks all right, I think. I was able to get a pin down in there, and I'm going to have to make a couple more actually. And then I couldn't even get water through there. So I'm thinking, what on earth is going on here? Why can't I get water through here? So I was thinking that maybe the tip was crimped or something or another. Even though I could get a pin down in there, I was thinking, well, why isn't the water flowing through? Why can't I get water to come through? And really don't know why I couldn't get water to come through, but I soaked it and soaked it and soaked it in suds and dish detergent and hot water, and I finally got it to where water would come through. And now I just gotta get the water out of the bottle and put my glue back in because it comes out too fast out of those Sugar Bell bottles. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to make 3 more of these, I think.